Hi, in this bonus training, I'm going to go over my 3 do's and don'ts of private practice teaching. First, regarding resources. So it's actually more than 3 do's and don'ts, but I liked the title. So regarding resources, do invest in QuickBooks or some other similar invoicing system for payment. Don't use Venmo or PayPal. I used Venmo or PayPal when I first got started, and it made tracking and separating personal from private, from business and personal finances a complete nightmare. QuickBooks has been a lifesaver. I used it for my entire second full year, and half of my first year and all of my second year, and it made doing taxes the second year an absolute breeze compared to the first year. So definitely my do invest in QuickBooks. Don't use Venmo or PayPal. Do use Canva to create your logo and branding. Don't use a branding company for your logo and branding. It's another mistake that I made. I spent a bunch of money having somebody else create a logo and brand for me that I really never ended up doing anything meaningful with. Canva, on the other hand, I've created some really beautiful things that I'm happy with and that I have been able to use over a lot of different things. And you can use it with the Pro for free for 30 days. You can create your whole brand kit right in there and create just about everything you need without even having to pay for it. I still love it, so I continue to pay for it, and that's just part of my expenses. And do create your own website. It's actually, I'm going to say it's easier than you think. It is easier than you think. It's a lot of work for sure, but you can absolutely do it. You do not have to be a tech guru or crazy good at technology. I don't even really understand HTML, and I was able to have created 2 websites actually. So you can absolutely create your own website instead of paying thousands of dollars to have somebody else build it and create it for you. So don't pay somebody else to build it for you. Save yourself those thousands of dollars. Marketing. So number 2, my do's and don'ts around marketing. Do tell students and families how you create customized learning. Don't tell them about all of your education and certifications. That's just going to go over their head. Those are awesome for interviews and for your resume, for applying for jobs within the education business. It is your private students and families and clients. They're really not going to know what all of that means, and it's just going to go over their head and make you seem maybe even a little bit less accessible to them. So do tell them what and how you're going to do for them, but don't tell them about all of your educational background and certifications and et cetera, et cetera. Most of mine didn't even, their eyes glazed over when I started telling them about second language acquisition theory. They're what? No, but yes, I do know how to teach you how to become fluent in another language. Do talk the technology that you're going to be using, but don't talk about specific ed tech. They don't need to know about Edpuzzle and Flipgrid and Blookit and Kahoot and all of the other things that you may be using, but do tell them about the technology. We're going to use iPad. We're going to use laptop computers. We'll use Zoom or what. You can talk about those things, but don't tell them about all of the specific ed tech that you're going to use to enhance their learning experience. Do discuss workload expectations, how much time they're going to be investing, but do not discuss all the possible ways that you can give them independent work. Again, you will overwhelm them before they even start working with you. So make sure that you're both on the same page with how much work they're going to be expected to, they are expecting to put in on their side outside of the live class time that you're going to provide. And finally, pricing. Do research private lessons outside of education. Look at things like music lessons. Look at things like private athletic training classes. What you have to offer is no less valuable than that. Don't compare what you offer to other educational institutions. Education in that realm, it tends to not, I don't know where all the money goes, but we can tell you as teachers, it doesn't necessarily go to us. So when they're going to be paying you directly, don't compare yourself to other educational institutions. You do want to compare your private lessons to other private lessons outside of the realm of education, because that's what your families and private students are going to be looking at when they're price comparing. They're not necessarily going to be looking at, how much would a course cost at my local community college or my local university or, a private school if I broke the tuition down. So look outside of that. Do look outside of your geographical area. Do not feel hung up. Don't get hung up on the cost of living in your area. The pandemic has changed a lot about where we can teach. We really can teach from anywhere. So look outside of your geographical area. I live in Pennsylvania. I have students in Vermont. I have students in Dallas, Texas. You're not just stuck to your zip code. Do calculate what you want to earn per hour. Look at how much time you're going to be putting in on the back end of your business. Think about how much time you're going to be putting in planning and giving feedback and creating learning opportunities for your students. Don't limit yourself to what you think people are willing to pay. You are honestly probably off of what you think that they're willing to pay, because teachers are consistently undervalued, and we really actually tend to have a poor idea of how much our service and expertise and knowledge is worth in the private sector. So do calculate how much you want to earn. Look at what other people with similar education levels are earning per hour and put yourself there. That is a place that you can be. Don't limit yourself into what you think people are willing to pay. All right, those are my do's and don'ts for private practice teaching. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to talking with you about your business.